if I'm sitting in your channel for a couple of hours and it turns out that it's not just the game I like, I enjoy you, I'm going to strike up a conversation with you that has nothing to do with the game. I'm going to come back to see what you're playing, even if it's not the game that I watched before. It's those connections with other people that is legitimately the basis behind any community. Just run away with the time.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. This is the Stream Key podcast, and today I'm here with Diasean. Welcome to the stream, my man.
Hello. Thank you very much.
If you guys don't know, this is our weekly show here at TRUgaming where we talk with streamers, specifically sponsored streamers, about ways to improve as a streamer on Twitch. Everything from your branding to your energy, and this week we're talking about community building because Diasean has a lot of experience there. At least he thinks he does, apparently. A little nervous about it, maybe. But he came to me with this idea. I think it's a really good idea. Really important topic that people don't talk a ton about in terms of like an individual community. So I'm excited to get into it. And for the duration of this part of the charity stream, guys, I'm keeping the alerts. The sound is off just so the podcast can be heard, but they'll still show up. Every donation still goes to support Mission 22, so please keep doing that. You get the bar at the bottom of the screen, and it's a great cause. If you want to get more info on that, just type !charity or !, I think it's M22 in the chat. But just go ahead and do that, and you will get more info on that. Anyway, we'll get into the show a little bit. So Diasean, you are a TRUgaming sponsored streamer. Can you tell us just a little bit more about yourself in general for those who maybe don't know you?
Yeah, sure. I'm an Irish fellow who came over here a while back, and I have been an avid gamer for as long as I had the ability to buy my own stuff. So I got into it about the Super Nintendo SNES, like the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis era is when I actually started getting consoles, and I grabbed every console I could get my hands onto after that point. I've spent a lot of time playing games. That's what it came down to. Like a lot of time playing games. And so recently I decided that it was a good idea to stream the amount of time I was playing. Because why not?
Yeah.
I mean, I love the things. I like to talk. Put the two things together. It seemed like a no-brainer, you know?
There you go. Yeah, that's awesome. And just so I don't forget, we will take viewer questions, guys, for Diasean and myself about streaming or the charity in general, anything you want to ask about towards the end of the show. So if you have a question for us, please just hold it for now. We will get to it, I promise. But Diasean, again, we'll keep moving on here a little bit. So a little fun question I like to ask all of our viewers or guests that come on the show. Where did the name Diasean come from? What's the story behind that?
Actually, it comes from Dungeons and Dragons a long time ago. I had a game that a friend of mine was putting together, and I went and I did a random name generator to come up with something. And so I went onto the thing and I hit it a couple of times, and I came up with this name that ended up being the one for a character I had for like 2 years. It took until about I'd been using it in a lot of places before I realized that it was actually very similar to two Irish words slammed together. Shawn, which is in part my real name,
right?
And Dia, which is God. So apparently I found it very entertaining and enjoyed the idea of being the God, Shawn. So fun times. I decided I was God, and I ran with it.
There you go.
There it is. I am a God.
I guess you don't struggle with any confidence issues as a streamer then.
Well, you know,
I guess
everyone's going to have a moment or two, but when you've got a name like saying right up front that you're a God, it's really hard to let it go.
I did not know. That's not what I expected to hear from that. So that's a great story. Thanks for sharing that. Cool. So last little just warm up question here. What do you love about Twitch, and why do you keep doing it? What's the motivation for you on Twitch?
When it comes right down to it, when I first came to Twitch, I gave it a quick shot a couple of years back, and my tech just didn't have it, so I just let it go. But I started watching Twitch, and as a matter of fact, one of the other sponsored streamers, Dan the Dapper, and I started watching as he was playing, and he was interacting with the viewers, and a lot of people were very friendly, very up close, and they were very supportive of each other. And it wasn't a case of like he was giving more attention to people who delivered bits. It was a case of someone made a mention of there was an issue, and he was right there to talk to them about it. Like, are you okay? Do you need a chat? And in his Discord, he would continue it on outside of the stream. So it wasn't like some way to get more viewers.
Mm-hmm.
This was literally a legitimate, I care about the people who are here. And that sense of community and network is essentially what drew me into it.
Mm.
So I thought to myself, that actually looks pretty cool. And my wife, she went, you know what? You really could stream. Like you already play. So essentially we'd be putting you in front of a camera and let you actually talk to people like you already do. Just now you'd be talking to an audience, and that's really just going to stroke your ego. So I took a moment to think about it, and I was like, you know what? I can give it a try. I mean, worst case scenario, I'll just be like, I'm done with this. I can't handle this. And here I am, 7 months and change later. I've got a community wrapped around me. I've got more tech than I started out with, as I put a lot of effort into doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And my God, I like it. So what do I like about it? I like the people that you meet, the people you interact with, and the sense that everyone understands,
Mm-hmm.
like I say everyone, but I mean almost everyone, understands that it is not about you. It's about everyone else in there with you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome, man. And of course, that really relates to our topic today, which, like you said, you have that community wrapped around you. So let's talk about that community a little bit. Getting into the discussion here today, guys, again, it's about building community and specifically building your own community as a streamer, not a shared community. Like, TRUgaming is great. I love TRUgaming. But if you are a streamer, you need to think about ways to establish your personal community as well. So let's get into that a little bit. And I think the best way to do that is for you to talk a little bit about your community and what have your experiences really been in the past couple of months building up your own community as a streamer?
Well, as it stands, when I first began, as mentioned, I was watching one of the other sponsored streamers, Dan the Dapper.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching his stream, which led me to Miss Amari, Pixel Pops, a couple of other streamers in general. And so as I came across these more people, each of them had their own Discord channel. It's like, here's our Discord, here's our Discord. And it occurred to me that every streamer out there has a Discord.
Yep.
So if you start following like 50 people, and let's be honest, very few people who watch Twitch follow just 50 people.
Yeah.
But if you follow 50 people and they each have a Discord, there is a wall of little red dots that say, look here, that you will never look at.
Yeah, that's very true.
And I was like, I don't want anything to do with that. I will stream, I will talk with people in chat. I'm going to stay away from all of that kind of thing.
Huh.
And someone came at me, like not in a violent way. They were like, you should have a Discord. You should have some way to do it. And I was like, all right, you know what? Fine. I'll put together Discord, but I'll put it out there right now. It's not just me. This isn't just for my stuff. This is for other people to talk to each other. So this is a place I wanted to be a hub. I want this to be a place where people can meet up, talk to each other, and move on with what they've got going on. This is not just about me. And so this tavern Discord began, except it was just the tavern as a nickname, because the word that was initially put forward, my wife wasn't too fan of. She didn't believe it. It was a real word. She thought it was a joke. There's a piece of slang from Ireland that is used. You're having some fun. You're hanging out with friends. You're enjoying yourself with these people. You're not just having fun. You're not just hanging out. You're having a bit of crack. And it's spelled C-R-A-I-C.
Huh.
She was like, that's not a word. It is. It took an Irishman, who's actually in the chat now, another Irishman by the name of Cragan, to actually make her believe that this is real, because he used it in a sentence as well. She's like, oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
So the tavern community came about because people started hanging out in that Discord and talking with each other and coming to the channel and hanging out. And I was going to other people's channels and viewing their stuff and talking with them. It's not just a case you go, join my community, come here. No. You go in, you interact with the people, and if you mesh, if it turns out your likes and their likes are pretty much the same, it sort of naturally happens. This wasn't begun as, I'm making a community, I'm going to make this thing go. It just kind of organically formed in place. And it had actually been running for a couple of months before the realization that this was a thing that could exist. So we talked about potential names first, and it kind of petered out. And I thought to myself, the one place where a lot of people get together, where a lot of people will be hanging out, is the pub. But you're not going to call your community the pub. So I went with the tavern. It's a place where you go, where you can stay, and where you can get a sense of home when you're not at home. And that is entirely the point behind this thing. So it's a place where small streamers like myself can meet up with other small streamers and help each other up. It's not about making one person better. It's about making every other streamer who's involved in it have a support network that they didn't have before. So we've got people in there who volunteer time as tech support. We got people who drop by each other's channels just to say hello, mod each other's channels. Hell, every day I do what I affectionately refer to as a pub crawl. I mean, what else would an Irishman call it? Where I go by each of the active tavern streamers to see how they're doing, see how it's going. Hey, how's it going? If you've got one viewer in there, I can guarantee you it's probably me.
That's really interesting. I think it's cool that you built the community, not as the focus being about you, right? But as a place where it's about the other people there. I think that's sort of not what I would have guessed would have been the case. I haven't spent a lot of time in your Discord server, but
Nice.
the majority, I believe it's great. I definitely have to come by the tavern now. But I think the majority of streamer Discords I see are really focused on the one streamer. And maybe that's an issue, maybe they should be doing a better job of involving their community to kind of run the server more, make it more than just, I'm going live, let me post it in Discord, and having more kind of events going on in the Discord or something.
Well, early on, one of the things I did, you know how a lot of streamers, they'll have the Mi 6 running and I'm streaming now. It's like, oh, that's nice. That's good. But when I started Mi 6, what I actually did is I put a channel to the side to announce when someone was streaming. And I put my name on the thing. And then I put a couple of other people I was following in there as well. And so it was a case of off the bat, the channel was actually telling people, not just when I streamed, but when other people did as well. And now at this point, I've got it set up so that if somebody is part of the Tavern community and they want to be part of that bot, they let me know. They tell me, they make sure I know their Twitch name, which we generally hope that anyone who's in the Discord has provided their Twitch name as their existence,
Right.
or at least changed their nickname so it is their Twitch name to make it easy. And if they've got a Discord as well, I take that information. I actually have a Google Doc set up where it has their Twitch name, their Twitch link, and the permanent link they provided to their Discord. So if anyone wants to look at any of the streamers, they can find them easy. And that was what was going on before we created the Tavern community, so that you can now just click on the Tavern and see what they're on.
Gotcha.
But I still work that so that anyone who says, hey, I went in, okay, done, just add them in. Our goal, our hope, is that anyone who's in it is good people. They're in there and understand that it's part of a community, as opposed to just coming and going, hey, I could use some friends.
Yeah. Well, it's
Really?
cool that you let the people who are joining, be able to promote themselves too. I think that's really big because you're giving them an opportunity to get some value themselves. So then when you ask, come out to my stream, it's not just a demand. You're making kind of a trade, or, you're building friendships for people that really just want to come out organically.
Interestingly enough, I will go into people's Discords and I'll drop in the link that says I'm streaming in the channels they provided for such a thing. One might argue that because the bot is on my channel, people don't have to come into the Discord to do so. But if the only reason you come by is to do that drive-by, drop off the link, you're really not coming in anyway.
Yeah.
By setting it up so that the only reason you come into the Tavern Discord is to actually hang out with the other people, to talk to them, to say hi, maybe to get some help if that's what you need. It means that people who go there are going there because they want to be. And that want to be is the key component of it for my mindset. Because the people want to spend time with the other streamers. We want to be around each other. That's why when I go into someone's channel, it's because I want to see their stuff. I want to see that game, or I want to be part of their life as they're talking about what's happening in their day-to-day existence. Some days I do better than others. Like if I'm lurking while I'm at work, I obviously am going to miss some stuff. That's just how life is. But if there's a day where I'm not streaming, there's a pretty good shot I'm sitting in someone's channel going, yes, I like these people. Hello.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it sounds like Discord's like primarily the place where you do your offline community when you're not live on Twitch. Is there anything else that you use, like Twitter, other social media, to kind of build that community presence while you're not live?
Well, I've got my own personal Twitter, which is the same as my existence here. It's Diasean. I also have a put aside name for the Tavern.
Okay.
And so it's Tavern Presents, and it literally, what I try to do is I have it logged in on my phone, and so I'll go in and I'll see like if people are saying anything or if they're streaming something, and I will try to retweet the fact that they're doing it, and maybe put in a little blurb about what they're doing. there are, again, life. So if I'm streaming, I'm obviously not keeping up on Twitter at that point. So there are
Hmm.
times when people will be streaming the same time as me, and I just won't put the notification up. But I won't put me and then not put other people.
Right.
So it will specifically mention people as I cherry pick them out. I'll be like, okay, so I know that person's streaming now. Let me just retweet that. I'll be like, oh, I missed they streamed, so I'm obviously not going to say, hey, look at that person. Um, I'll have conversations with people on Twitter. I'll talk to people through Discord. Discord's where most of it is, I'll be honest. And Twitter is more about talking over some of the things that I see happening, seeing other streamers who I've not yet met. And now, like, for instance, I've set up a list online that is Tavern Community, so people can click on them and take a look. I have a private list put aside that's for all the TRUgaming streamers who have actually checked out their channel, who I know their Twitter information. So I've gone to look. So I can actually go look and see what's happening in people's lives in that regard. You know, instead of looking at Imgur pictures or whatever, I actually use it to look at what's happening in people's lives.
Gotcha. That's awesome.
It's real time in my stream or in someone else's stream. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Are you
Yeah.
alive? You know?
So again, focusing on the ways to kind of feature others more than yourself is what I'm consistently hearing is the big way of building that community is, you know, letting them feel like they as viewers or maybe just as fellow streamers have ways to build up their own brand and just connect with people in the community and not, you know, always just going to watch you all the time, but giving a little bit and then getting some back. Is sort
It's
of.
absolutely the point. A lot of streamers could be out there and their goal is come look at me.
Hmm.
I have on more than one occasion in the middle of my stream been like, look, just so you know, this is the game I'm playing. It may not be for you, and I appreciate you being here.
Hmm.
If it turns out you want to watch Final Fantasy 15, go look at Lars.
Mm.
LARZ, here's the shout out for him. If you want to see some of the 8-bit RPG games, like what was one of our streamers, Ogre Magi, was doing.
Mm.
He was doing like Final Fantasy, like with some of the Final Fantasy games, you know, the old 8-bit classics and Chrono Trigger. I'd be like, you may not be wanting to watch me playing Final Fantasy 15 because it's not your remembrance of the classic RPG.
Hmm.
The good news is, Ogre Magi over here, he just started 10 minutes ago. Click, go take a look at him.
Hmm.
I don't want to like hold on to people. There's no hoarding. It won't work.
Yeah.
If people want to be there, they'll be there. And if they want to go see someone else, they'll go see someone else. If I can help someone find what they would prefer to watch, so much the better.
Hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, you're hanging out with it. You're in Twitch. You're watching streams. Great. Because without the people who come in to watch Twitch, we are legitimately nothing. We're a couple of people looking into a glass device going, look at me.
That's so true. Yeah, I mean, I think people have the perception that, you know, if they're telling viewers to go watch someone else, then they're losing that potential viewer. Or the idea that, you know, there's only so many viewers in the world. And then by sacrificing those viewers to someone else, you're losing out on them. But that's not really the case with Twitch. It's much more of a shared community.
Like, I think part of it might be the fact that I used to do retail years ago. A couple of stores that I used to work with, they went on the idea of if you gave good service, the people would come back for more service. If you didn't have what they had, but you told them how to get what they needed, then they would remember that and they would come back to you. Hell, even the Microsoft store does that now. They're like, well, you didn't buy it from us, but we'll help you with it. When it comes down to it, if someone comes into my stream and I'm not the streamer for them, but I can help them find a streamer for them, then they'll remember that the community as a whole was that kind of helpful place. With the people who are in our channels who are coming in to watch, I've got someone who'll be inside my channel watching me, and then when I go to another streamer, I'll see them there too. It's very, the word may have some negative connotations, but it's a very incestuous grouping. If you're watching streamers who are similar to yourself, you're going to find people who are in all the channels. And so that community, whether you realize it or not, already exists. The question is whether or not they're part of your community or if they're on their own and occasionally dip their toe into the pool that you represent.
Yeah, absolutely.
The viewpoint that some other person is stealing your viewers has never worked for my mindset, because the people will watch what they want to watch. If you provide something that they want to see, they'll be there. When I stream, I don't pick my game based upon what I think people will watch. I pick my game because of what I would like to play. So like this whole week, I've been playing Elite Dangerous. like the weeks before that, I was playing Monster Hunter World because I was enjoying playing it with other people, and I will happily play with viewers. They're like, "Oh, you know what? Can I play? Yeah, yeah. Do you have the right thing to play with me? Yes. Then here's the information. Send me a friend request. You're coming in." Because I'm not one of those super huge streamers who has like 500 people lined up going, "I need to get in, so I have to do a bloody raffle," and I'm okay with that. Having a smaller community at the moment works out for us because it lets us get used to the idea of having people who want to watch, who want to come into us, and it also gives me the opportunity to interact with them. I legitimately have a worry that there will come a point where I will not see the people who are in the chat. I'll just see this wall of text rotating by, and I just won't have that connection anymore.
Yeah.
But by the same token, as long as I always remember the fact that there was a day when I would look at my stream and there were two people. One was me, and one was that wonderful woman over there that I married. I won't get too big for my britches. Like, I had to have the people in the tavern community tell me that I'm the one who made it before I'd okay, Grace, I did it. Like they're like, "Look, you made the thing." I'm like, "We made the thing. It's us together." No. You made it. Take credit. Fine, but you're a founder.
So like you mentioned there, so you start again with just the two people there, right? With just you and your wife, and everybody starts like that on Twitch. So let's maybe talk some more specific and practical things here. So for that person who's just starting on Twitch, or maybe has been on Twitch but still is sort of on that very low end where they get 2 viewers a stream, very common
yesterday kind of idea. Yeah.
Right. What's the best way for them to start building their own community of sorts for the stream?
Okay. At first, when I started streaming, the idea was if I stream a lot, people will turn up. That will never work. It will never work. You have to meet people. So all of your free time can't go into turning on the computer or turning on your console and streaming from it. You have to actually spend the time meeting people, networking, for want of a better word. You need to go out to channels. You need to go out, and I don't mean go out to a channel and be like, "Hey, I want to be your friend. Will you give me a follow?" I mean, go out, meet people, and if it turns out that they have similar interests, you follow those people, you talk with those people. If you are in someone's channel all the time, and you've been in there for like 2, 3, 4 weeks, and you've been in there consistently, if you turn on and be like, "I stream," unlikely they're going to turn on and get out. Especially if you're doing it with small streamers. If I drop into a channel that's got like that fella online right now who's got 21,000 viewers, if I drop into his channel and be like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Do you know the chance he's going to have any idea who I am, or even see the fact I said hello?
Very small.
So no, I talk to people who are like myself. I talk to people who are not big, huge streamers to begin with. I talk to people who are like me, who like what I like. I see you playing a game I enjoy. I'm coming in because you're playing that game. If I'm sitting in your channel for a couple of hours and it turns out that it's not just the game I like, I enjoy you, I'm going to strike up a conversation with you that has nothing to do with the game. I'm going to come back to see what you're playing, even if it's not the game that I watched before. It's those connections with other people that is legitimately the basis behind any community. It's not, "Will you join my club?" or "Can I join your club?" It's, "Hey, I like what you like. Let's hang out."
Right. And it sounds like you're focusing, again, more on getting to know a few people really well, rather than trying to get to know a lot of people at just a very surface level, or again, trying to get to know really huge people, because that's just not going to work, but trying to focus on people who are small like you, that you really get to know one at a time.
Well, as an example, you go into a big streamer's channel, there is a potential chance that they may catch your name. You may say something that catches their eye, and that gives you the chance to make a friend who is way up in the food chain, and maybe one day they would throw you a host. But every other person who's in there has that same chance. It's like playing the lotto, except your streaming future is resting on it. Terrible way to go through existence. On the other hand, if you are sitting there on your stream and you've got 3 people in it, and one of them is the person you met yesterday because they found out you liked this game too. When you follow them, they decided, "You know what, let me throw a follow your way as well," because you're both at 10 followers each. Neither one of you is close to being affiliate. Neither one of you is looking at being partnered anytime soon. But you both like Final Fantasy 15, or you both like Dark Souls, right? Because this connection between the pair of you, you've formed that one link. Well, now, as it stands, you and your friend who both like Dark Souls, you find a streamer who's playing Dark Souls one day, and you go off into the channel. Your friend, in the meantime, comes online. He's like, I don't want to watch, I don't want to stream today. I'm going to watch someone. Oh, look, there's Diasean, and he's currently watching Turtle Singer play Dark Souls 3. Let me go watch that. If he likes her, maybe I do too as well. Because so far I like the same games. And so now, because you went into a channel and your friend went into a channel, there's now 3 of you who know each other. Having a small group that expands out is really the way, I think, to make any community. Because as it stands, if you've got 10 people who always turn up to your channel, you are better than, you are in a better position.
Yeah.
Because you're not better than anyone. You're in a better position than you were when you began streaming, than the person who will not make those connections. So even if you only stream 2 days a week, if those 2 days a week are the same times when these other people turn up, and the days that you don't stream, you're in their channel, that interconnectivity is literally the basis of your community, and it spreads from there. It may not have the community name of whatever you want to call it. You may end up as this community for months and months before you even realize, my God, there are dozens of us, and we are legitimately a community. But it still is building, always. Because just like in outside of computer life, outside of Twitch, just when you're meeting people, you don't just meet a person. You meet a person with the potential to meet the people they know beyond them. And as long as you know this first person really well, and you both share similar interests, they will introduce you to those other individuals. Networking isn't about meeting everyone you can. It's making good, firm connections with the people you know, that you have met, and them deciding they would like to share who they know with you. Twitch is very similar in that regard, because you will meet other streamers through the ones you go. If you don't know who you want to watch, do you want to know a great way to find out who you can watch next? Ask the people in your audience. Like when I'm not on, who are you watching? Let me go check out one of them people. If you want to have that chance of a connection with the other people, tell me a person who you think I might like to watch. You can ask that in your Discord. Have an actual channel for it if you want to. I don't as it stands, because as it stands, we're growing as it is. But it was certainly something that could happen. Or when people came in and they shouted themselves out, well, obviously, you came to watch my channel. You wouldn't know about the Discord.
Right.
Let me go look at who you are. No,
yeah, I mean, that's a great way to get a connection with someone that you might not have thought of, right? But you do have that connection that you didn't realize with that viewer. I'd never even thought of that. That's a really cool concept.
Because as it stands, in TRUgaming right now, you have a channel that people can shout themselves out into. And occasionally I'll take a look in there and be like, who's this? Click. Oh, what are they playing? Because I've got nothing better to do. I don't have one of my own people on. I'll take a look to see somebody new, because why not? I will never meet any new people if I just stick with the same 6 or 7 people who are always on.
Yeah.
But if I meet somebody new, then I have that chance of making that other connection. And those connections are the entire basis.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that was awesome. And these are really good responses. So I want to keep them coming, but I do want to have time for viewer Q&A, because we only have about 15 more minutes here, because it's sort of a shorter podcast. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open up the viewer question and answer, as always, but I'm still going to ask some of my questions in the meantime. We're going to do a mix of the two. So if you guys want to ask a question to Diasean or myself about streaming, just tag at GreenChord in the chat, and I will get to your question as long as we have time for it. We're only going to about 4 today. And then Diasean's actually going to be taking over on this channel afterwards. So even if he doesn't get to your question right now, I guarantee you in the next 6 hours, he can probably answer it. So.
Oh yeah, I did. That is a 6-hour block.
Yeah, that was, we did not make you do that. That was your choice.
Oh no, that's fine. Because you know what's funny? If I wasn't streaming here, I'd be streaming on my own channel till about 2 a.m. So I'm getting an early night.
There you go. Awesome. Well, while I wait for a few questions to come in, how does you talked about getting some real good friendships and connections with one person at a time when you're starting. When you're 20 followers in or so, or kind of at your level now, or not 20 viewers in, getting 20 to 30 viewers a stream, does that strategy still stand, or do you have to change it a little bit to just adapt to how your channel's growing?
I gotcha. As it stands, at the very beginning of making these friends that I have on Twitch, I would go into a channel. I would spend hours and hours and hours in one person's channel because they were my friend who was online. As the community is growing, and so I've been as the tavern community itself grows, I will look online and I will find like 6-7 people online at a time. And so the idea of popping into one channel and spending 7 hours there is a little rough on trying to keep the friends that I already have. I don't want to give up any of the friends I have to try and make new friends. I want to make sure that everyone understands that I like them. I like you very much. This is part of who we are. We have this connection. This isn't about having this community of people. This is about us being friends. So it means that I spend a little less time in some of the channels. And so sometimes it's just a case of I come by and I'm like, hey, I am alive. I am absolutely here for you. I'm sorry that we're not really talking much right now. And I'd be like, what are they doing? This is great. But they also know that I'm there.
Gotcha.
If I give a shout out for their channel when they come in, or if I retweet them on Twitter, if I happen to know their Twitter information, I take it as an idea that they understand that I know that I'm there, that I'm watching, that I'm part of it, and I want them to succeed.
So sort of
as it gets bigger, I am sure it's going to get rougher on my soul, and I'll actually end up needing to have we'll have all of our people all interacting with each other, and there will come a point when it may get too big for me to hit every channel in a day.
Right.
And if that's the case, one, I am super excited for the community as a whole, because it means that all these people who are working on the same mindset as myself are together and helping each other out.
Awesome. It sounds like this sort of core of that is, your time in each channel might go down, but the quality never does. You're always still involved with people, or if people come into you, you're still, really talking to them. So I think that's good advice. I do see a question. Questions are kind of rolling here from GamerDadNC, I believe. He said, can a Discord with too many channels actually do the opposite of community building? Do you have suggestions for a more guided approach to Discord structure? Interesting.
Well, actually, Discord gave us options for that. With the ability to set up categories. There are some people who are in the Discord right now who have their own separate little rooms that have been set aside so that they can have a little community space for the people from their streamers. Like, not everyone wanted to have their own Discord, so they can have a Discord space in the Tavern Discord. Go ahead, have fun. By setting up the actual categories of it, that seems to help with it. I did notice that in TRUgaming's one, you have this bot that actually assigns roles, and if you're not in that role, you don't even see the channel, and that looks bloody glorious for that as a concept. I'm not gonna lie, like, I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's great. But by the same token, having it open so that other people can find them, so they can see the rooms that are active, where people are talking, it leads people to go, I wonder what's in there. So for now, the categories and having small channels underneath it seems to be working.
Yeah.
And I have been tweaking and adapting the way Discord handles this whole time. So before categories were a thing, it was just a line of rooms. Oh. It's like, okay, now these are for announcements. You take a couple of channels and throw them in there, and then you can minimize it. Glorious. It's glorious so nice. Upgrade to Discord when I can minimize the thing. So now it's 4 categories, for example, and it lights up and shows me the actual channel that has something in it. If there's something there, if there isn't, I don't have to worry about that category.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's really nice.
Unless I want to pop in and say hi.
Exactly. You can just really quickly go through it. That's been so nice for us too, moving forward. So similar question from Small Panda. She says, how did Diasean come up with what to put in his Discord? So I guess choosing what kind of channels to have in there.
Well, again, we'll talk about how I go to other people's channels. I have other people's Discords and my stuff. The really good thing about knowing a bunch of different people is you see everyone has their own way of doing things. And so I don't think that it's in any way kind of theft to take an idea that looks awesome and kind of make use of it. That's what I found out about categories, Some people have game channels. We put aside a couple of game channels for ones that a lot of our people seem to be playing. Like Stardew's got a channel. Monster Hunter has a channel. Elite Dangerous has a channel because a bunch of us had stuff, and so let's put resources in it. But beyond that, it's a case of, well, can we have this thing? Will we use it? We put it in. If it doesn't get used, I take it out. And I've got other people in there who are set up as mods and bouncers in the channel. And if it turns out that they feel that there's a need for a room, they pop it into place. We see how it goes. And if it seems like a waste of a channel, it goes away.
Yeah.
It's constantly fluid. It's constantly adapting so that way we can find what works for us.
Right. We do the same thing, just lots of trial and error and see what people like, what people don't. And you can always delete or add as you need to. So hopefully it helps you out, Small Panda and Gamer Dad. So I see a question from Snoophog TV. He said, how did you manage to keep viewership up with Stardew since it's not interactive? Interesting.
Is it not?
I
mean, realistically, when you're sitting there and you're working on your plans, you can talk about any number of topics. Looking at your chat can be problematic for any game, right? But when I'm planting corn or cauliflower or blueberries or I'm harvesting it, I don't really feel it needs as much focus as like Bloodborne. When there's a guy coming at me, I can't look out of the corner of my eye at the chat. I have to be right on this fella. Like, what is he doing? What is he doing? I got him. There's a quiet moment. Like after those kind of an action moment, wherever it is, you take a breather. You go, all right. You look over. Hello. Sorry about that for a moment, guys. Let me take a look back, see what's going on, and talk with the people. Talking in general helps keep people connected to what you are doing. Sometimes they want to know about why you've decided to plant a certain way. Sometimes they want to know about what you plan on doing next. Or maybe they just want to talk about the day they've had. There's no off-limit topic. I'll rephrase. Hate is off-limit.
Yeah,
I want to hate my channel. You have any hate? Drop any spam links into my channel. You're going to find out exactly what shape Italy is. A boot, by the way, in case you didn't know. As you go out the door.
That's so funny. Yeah, I think you can make anything interactive if you want to, basically.
I mean,
just a matter of the streamer.
You'll see streamers who draw and they talk away. You have to focus when you're drawing. You have to focus when you're playing a game. You have to focus when you're reading. But taking the breaks from that to talk with the people in the channel is good. You can always talk to people when you're playing a game.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Hopefully that helps you out, Snoophog. So I see a question from Frostbite69. This is a new viewer, so welcome to the channel, Frost. He said, what is Mission 22? Mission 22 is a charity organization that helps to halt veteran suicide. It's one that a lot of members in the community are very passionate about, specifically Shady Pyro and Snoophog, who I know is in the chat. They can give you more information on it, and we have a command in the chat if you want to check out their website, stuff like that. But basically, the core of the charity is to fight veteran suicide and put an end to that. And we are raising money for that the entire weekend. So you can learn more about that with some of the other streamers, like I said, because they're really, really passionate about it, and I'm sure have personal stories about it. So stay tuned for that. They will be on later during the stream. Let's keep moving on here a little bit. Dropping all the charity info in there. Another one from Snoophog I see really quickly said, totally kind of off base, but are you pumped up for multiplayer Stardew?
Oh, heck yeah. Are you kidding me? I love playing Stardew. Being able to play with friends, that's the kind of game that I enjoy. And the ability to play it multiplayer, which is another type of game I employ. You put them together. Yes.
That's really cool. And good for viewers and Twitch too, right? Because you can play with
it
viewers.
Could potentially be. I mean, it might be problematic if you start turning around and going, well, I'm sorry, you can't join my channel because I've got that fella coming in again tomorrow. So he's got the house. I don't know how they have implemented yet.
I don't know.
In case of you got 3 people lined up for it, and then those 3 people have used up the spots.
Yeah.
Or free roam.
That's funny. I mean, I'm excited about it too. I haven't played Stardew, but if it's having multiplayer soon, I might have to get it. So I see one from Mr. Pure Instinct. It says, how do you recommend starting up your Discord and getting people involved? I want my channel and community to be the same as what you're describing and how Dan's channel is. A huge, positive, and supportive community. How do I make that happen?
Pretty much the same as the way you made friends with people. It's going to be one person at a time. You're going to set up your Discord if that's what you want to do, instead of having it be part of a community one. You're going to make your Discord have just you in at the start. You will have your link provided for people who ask about it, or You'll have it on a timer, so it pops up as it goes. You want to talk more to me offline? I'll be here. But keep in mind that at the very beginning, the only person who'll be replying to the 1 or 2 people who are in your channel is you. So you're going to have to be on it. So have the app on your phone. Somebody makes a comment, talk with them. Hey, how are you doing? Talk to them every morning. Hello. Been having a fun day. I'm doing this thing. Don't forget, there's a stream later. Make them feel comfortable with the idea of pimping out their stream in your channel. And at the very least, it's a method of communication that's going on that will also help you meet new people. So realistically, the exact same way you build a community, step by step, one person at a time, and without having any kind of expectation.
Yeah, and just lots of hard work, basically. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, just like everything else in your life, you want to know people, you got to talk with people.
Absolutely. That's awesome. So, dude, I'm so short. I love that username. That's great. It says, since you advocate a community Discord, are you suggesting that individual streamers should or should not have their own? And when, in your opinion, would it be appropriate to have either or? Interesting.
I gotcha. So you want to know if there comes a point when you should say, feck it, I shouldn't have my own Discord. Or you should always have your own Discord. I think that for every streamer, it's a personal preference. You have to make up your own mind. If you end up in a community Discord where you get lost in the shuffle, where you feel like you're not being paid attention to, that may not be something you want to be part of. But by the same token, you may not want to start with no one around. Some streamers have got channels that they talk and they're active in all the time, right? We've seen them ourselves. We go into a channel and it's just popping. They don't want to let go of their channel. They don't want to go into a community channel. And I understand why, because it's active. If their channel is dead, on the other hand, and they feel like there's no communication going on there for whatever reason, maybe the people don't come by to visit so much because nothing's happening. You have 2 options you can do at that point. You can talk more and thus lead people back into it, or you can close up shop and go into a more community one if you want to. But the really fantastic thing about this is that there's no right answer. It is entirely based upon how you personally interact with your people. If you don't really talk to them on your Discord, why do you have a Discord?
Yeah, that's really valid. And I don't think you have to choose one or the other. I've seen a lot of people do a good job of doing both, but the important thing is you have to do a good job of it. So if it's too much for you to be in, a huge community Discord and your own Discord, then just choose one or the other, the one that's working better for you. It's better to do one thing really well than to do 2 things at a very mediocre level, if that makes sense.
I will also say that just because everyone else seems to have a Discord doesn't mean you have to.
That's true.
It's just a really good way to communicate with people when you're not streaming. If you're very good at Instagram or you're very good at Twitter, maybe that's how you want to do it instead. However you interact with the people who come into your channel is your choice. No one's going to say, you're doing it wrong. And be right. There's
Absolutely.
No right answer. Just like there's no magic formula to becoming the next friggin', I don't know, what was it, Ninja the other night who had 600,000 bloody viewers because someone famous dropped into his channel? Good for him.
That was nuts, man.
That's not going to happen to all of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Try this.
I see another one from Frostbite. He says, Diasean, what is your biggest struggle as a streamer? Sorry if this was asked, just jump back in. It was not asked yet. So
biggest struggle as a streamer. I have times, usually when I'm getting tired. Okay, like I do very long streams. So like I will start a stream at like 10 o'clock on a Saturday, for instance, and run till 2 in the morning. I'll come home from work after working all day long, and I will start a stream at 7 p.m. and I will go until like 1, 3 in the morning, and then go to work. I'll get up at 7 to go to work again the next day. And so there are times when I get kind of tired, kind of beat, and at that point my focus gets a little wavery. And so when I'm playing a game where something's on the line, I focus intently on it, and I need that to catch my attention in the chat. And it's not that I'm not paying attention, it's that my focus has gone narrow.
Yeah.
And so because my focus has gone narrow, I don't notice that someone said something in the chat. I try to keep up on it, and thanks, like my mods will have ways to catch my eye, or someone will like drop a bit, because the alert will pop up no matter whether it's 1 bit or 20,000 bits, and that way the person will be like, yo, dumbass, pay attention. One streamer I know, his wife went and set up an alert on there so that someone can tap in this one command, and it literally goes, dude. Oh damn! Hello, chat. Sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you. I was focused. We know that this can happen to us. So my attempt has been to pay more attention to the chat as I go. So I try to go, wait. There it is. I'm here, guys. I'm sorry. So when I go to get into that focus mode for a moment, I'm like, are you sorry, guys? I need a moment away from chat. I will be right back, and then I'll do what I got to do. And like, and that was that. Sorry about that. Thank you very much for waiting. Let's keep going. Like the other night, I was in a ship battle in Elite Dangerous. And I was like, give me one moment, lads. I need to focus. And I got obliterated. I took on a ship too big. It destroyed me. Being part of the chat would have made no difference. But I gave it my best shot. I didn't last very long. Mm-hmm. And as I was going through all the loading screens and I was replacing my ship, I'm like, well, that was great. While we're doing this, sorry about that. How's it going?
Oh my gosh. That's funny. Awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a great response, to be honest. Awesome. Well, I think that is most of the questions I see so far, and it is 4 o'clock. So what's going to happen next is we are going to wrap up this portion of the stream. So thank you, Diasean, so much again for coming on. Can you just quickly I mean, you mentioned your Discord already. You're going to be next on the channel, on this channel. So you guys can go follow him on everything, Twitter, Discord, his channel, obviously. But he will be coming up right here. You don't have to go anywhere. He's coming on in a couple minutes. So stay tuned for that if you want to see his stream in action, and also if there's any questions that you didn't get answered or that you just thought of and don't have time to ask, just stick around. You'll get to ask him those coming up.
Yeah, by all means. For the next 6 hours, I'm going to be a captive question person. Yeah. Great. How many other times do you get that after an interview, right?
Exactly. It's pretty cool that you get to see the interview in action right after the interview. So, but anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. This is our Stream Key podcast, like I mentioned, and you can find it on iTunes, Player FM, everything else. If you want to catch the past 20 episodes, they're all similar and just, again, focus on helping you improve as a streamer. I'm going to be ending this shift now, but Diasean's coming on in just a couple minutes, so don't go anywhere. And please keep donating towards Mission 22. It's an amazing charity, amazing cause. We'll have more info and more videos and stuff like that throughout the stream weekend, so stay tuned for all of that. But anyway, guys, thank you for coming out and watching the show. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you later. Adios.
Can you imagine trying to explain to like an alien what sleep is, right? Well, we lie down on this flat surface that's nice and comfortable because we don't want to get hurt. And then we just kind of stop. We just shut down. We go into sleep mode is what we call it, like what we do with the computers. You mean when you turn them off? Yes. So you just turn off for like 8 hours. Some of us do. Some of us do it for like 12. Some of us do it for like 3 at a time. Maybe even 1. It depends on the person, really. And you just stop.